everyone, and welcome to another episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Disney Travel Podcast with the latest Disney travel news. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Bello-Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bello-Braddock. And today, where to find the best Tangled photo opportunities at Walt Disney World. Cinderella's carriage is finally making its way to Disneyland. And Disneyland has introduced some more Disney After Dark events.
Yes, so it's interesting here that Disney has decided to feature all of the Tangled photo opportunities, even though I don't know if any of these are new. But I have to say,
me.
two of them are hidden.
Ooh.
Two of them are sort of secret photo opportunities. So it could be a little thing where I think, Amelia, you are probably going to want to do all three of these.
What?
You could make it a little thing to do all the Tangled photo ops on your Walt Disney World vacation if you liked Rapunzel and Tangled and Pascal and everybody else from that classic Disney animation. Now, there are three of them here. Actually, there's more than three, but there are three locations. One of them everybody knows. Why don't we actually start with the one everybody knows, which is the third one on this list?
Of course, very popular in the Magic Kingdom Park is Corona. There's a lantern prop photo area, which is a classic photo example. Lots of nice photos. It's very themed. You can see Rapunzel's tower in the background. There's a courtyard. It's very decorated, and it's a very popular spot in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, this is the one everybody sees. Now, this one only takes place after dark. As it gets dark, where you're holding the floating lantern, it's where those washrooms are in Corona. Don't forget to look for the hidden Pascals while you're there.
It is a good one.
And that is in Magic Kingdom Park. We've never done that one because there's always a long line.
And I've never had a pretty enough purple dress.
Yeah, we've walked by it many times and seen it happening, and the photos look great, but I've never really wanted to line up for it. So maybe this trip we'll line up for it. We'll see. We tend to be less rushed to get to places now with Disney Genie Plus. It's not like Fast Passes used to be, where we'd have things scheduled. So maybe we'll have time. So that one everybody knows. It's a classic one. If you don't mind waiting in line, it looks really cool. Gets busy, so get there right around dusk, just as it starts getting dark.
Yeah, because sometimes there's a pretty sunset too.
Yeah, and you don't know when they take breaks, so you might want to ask them when they're taking breaks if it's getting later in the night, because you can go back later, but they might be gone because there's a PhotoPass photographer. All right, the other two are sort of not very well known, and you have to ask specifically to really get them.
So there is the Disney PhotoPass Studio at Disney Springs, which is fairly popular, but if you want Tangled photos with a virtual backdrop, you just have to let the photographers know that you want those photos, and then they can set it up and sub in backgrounds and stuff like that. So there is a large variety of things you can do there, but you just have to specifically ask the PhotoPass photographers.
Yeah, now this is it's one of those green screen setups. So it's right near the Co-op Marketplace in Disney Springs, not too far from World of Disney in that area, and where the dress shop is and all those places. And you go in there, and there's sort of two sides to it. And anyway, just tell them I would like the Tangled backdrops for my photos. And
there's a frying pan.
There's a special bonus here. Yes, there is a prop. So, if you want to be holding the frying pan in your photo to channel your inner Rapunzel, you'll definitely want to hold that frying pan prop. Don't worry, it looks like cast iron, but it's not.
Not so heavy to carry.
I'm guessing because there's a little kid holding it in their sample photos, which I will post. And then the final one is over at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. And this is one of my personal favorites. I don't know if I would do the lantern personally, but I think you should do it.
I would. I definitely would do the lantern.
But this one I want to do.
This one's very interesting. So there is a Disney PhotoPass photographer stationed at the bridge leading from the entrance of the park into Discovery Island. And there's actually a very interesting Pascal magic shot that takes place over here. So you have to check with the photographer, but they will insert Pascal to your photos. They'll have you do some nice poses, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen them standing on people's heads and stuff. I'll post some of the sample pictures so you get an idea what it is. But again, you won't know this unless you ask specifically that photographer. And the same thing goes at Disney Springs. So you have to know to ask for these Tangled photos.
But I definitely recommend doing these, especially if you've been to Bibbidi Boppidi Boutique recently with your little ones or you, and you have a very nicely positioned photo op to finish out your princessy day. So
and
I
things
definitely
like
recommend
this,
you try that.
They just make the vacation a little fun. It's like a little sort of discovery checklist of your own. All right, this trip we're doing all the Tangled photos. So they're in 3 good locations, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Disney Springs. So while you're in each of those locations, it gives you something to do. And they're not usually going to be super long lines, except for the lanterns. I mean, it's not that long. It can get long, but if you want to wait half hour max, you'll probably get a lantern photo. Our last trip, I saw the line, and there was maybe 15 people in it. So that's probably half an hour, I would say, roughly. Say about 3 minutes a person, or less even.
Not too bad. Again, another thing.
2 minutes a person.
If you're there for a whole week and you're in Magic Kingdom more than one time, maybe go during the fireworks. I'm sure it's probably quieter during then, or I don't know if they run it during parties, but if you want to give up a little bit of your party time to go do that, if you're tired from some of the rides, that is something you could do. Because
we love doing stuff during the fireworks.
Because most people aren't going to run to the lantern photo op during the fireworks, but it is an interesting theory. I'm excited about this. I'm a little bit nervous as to why they're pushing it. What do they have planned for Tangled?
Well, hopefully something
in the
good.
franchise.
We shall see.
But yeah, I'm good. It's
all
interesting.
All right,
so
we'll add that to our upcoming trip in a few weeks. All right, next. I can't believe this one took so long to happen.
But finally, Cinderella's carriage is coming to Disneyland Resort.
And just to be clear, this is the full-size, actual rideable horse-drawn carriage. It goes around often at the Grand Floridian.
Yes, and this will be launching as part of their 100 Years of Wonder celebration, or that's what the word is. And the new coach will be available for both theme park and resort hotel ceremonies. And Walt Disney World guests have, as you mentioned, had this for a long time, and I can vouch for it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so whenever we've seen it, it's been a wedding.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be part of Disney weddings. So check into it. It's later this year. They've just started to drip this out. I actually saw this one from a cast member on LinkedIn. This was not in any official Disney news yet, but he sort of dripped it out coming later this year to Disneyland. So I thought, oh, finally they're getting an actual carriage. It really can't believe it took that long to get it. But anyway, it's coming. So if you're planning something special with your someone special and you want the carriage, you're going to have one. And it's cool. It's got 4 horses at Disney World. So.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. And more special news for Disneyland guests. Disneyland After Dark is bringing 2 more themed nights to Disneyland Resort this spring.
Yep, there's 2. I like this one. I don't know why Disney World doesn't do cooler things like this. So Disneyland is doing a throwback night, and then they're also bringing back their Star Wars night. And as usual, for both of these, there's a pre-party from 6 till 9, so they let you in the park with your ticket from 6 till 9, and then the actual thing runs from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. All right, let's first start with Throwback Night. What are the dates for Throwback Night?
So Throwback Night is April 18th and 20th of 2023 at Disneyland Park, and you can grab your flashback fashions for the Throwback Night inspired by the 50s and 60s, and you can of course relive classic Disney past with the music and entertainment and movies that paid tribute to the first decade of Disneyland Park.
Yeah, it opened in 1955,
so that's true.
I think this one will be very cool because there's probably going to be a lot of cool retro stuff.
Yeah, and of course Mickey and friends are in their retro outfits.
Are they going to be in those sort of creepy looking? Mickey did look a little weird in the 50s and the parks.
Oh gosh, I hope not. I was just anticipating like 50s suits, not whatever that traumatizing
He's matured
was.
since then, so we'll see. No, it says he'll be in his retro. Yeah, probably his suit says retro outfit to be specific. So, and then of course the good thing is they'll bring other nostalgic characters that haven't been around for a while. Other highlights include they're going to do Fantasy in the Sky Nighttime Spectacular that first lit up the park in 1957. Retro dance parties and bands playing, retro tunes. Treats inspired from the early days that they are making just for the event.
Ooh,
what were 50s treats? We'll have to see.
And also vintage photo backdrops of attractions and posters from yesteryear, like Skyway and Autotopia from old school
Autopia,
Disney.
Which was the original Grand Prix Raceway. Ooh. Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Why doesn't Disney World do this?
I know.
I want to go.
Even from the 70s. It could be cool.
No, honestly, I want to go. I want to get dressed up 50s and 60s. I want Disney World, take note.
I'll post a couple of 1950s Disneyland photos this week from the Disney archives. I was not alive then, but close, but not quite.
Just got to specify.
Yeah, so I'll post that out. And then Star Wars night, a little bit more
Yes.
Traditional something they've done. This one runs for 4 nights.
Yes, this is May 2nd, 8th, 11th, and of course, May the 4th of 2023.
Yes, of course, May the 4th. I didn't even catch that. Hello,
Of course, how could you not?
Yes, so this one is, they have their own Star Wars Celebrate the Night fireworks and pyrotechnics. This is going to be similar to the one that used to run at Hollywood Studios, I'm sure. And again, Captain Phasma of the Stormtroopers, March of the First Order. Again, Star Wars things you've seen, but also watch for the Tusken Raiders and the Jawas. They'll be out looking to cause trouble.
Yes, and there are some lightsaber instructional demonstrations where you can learn how to handle a lightsaber through a series of, quote, elite moves. So that would be interesting to see how they tie that in. And also some photo backdrops with the galaxy's heroes and villains captured by Disney PhotoPass photographers.
And of course,
theme snacks such as intergalactic churros and other out-of-this-world sweets.
Yeah, so all the info, of course, Disneyland.com. Check it out there. And then finally, more Disneyland news this week. Lots of Disney. All we had for Disney World was...
Yeah, Disneyland is just winning this week.
Finally
Seriously.
getting a lot of news. Disney World's had a lot of attention recently, so all we had was cool Tangled photos. But anyway...
I think Disneyland is taking the point this week with some...
Ant-Man and the Wasp is all the rage now, and so they have a couple of limited time Ant-Man and the Wasp movie tie-ins, Quantum Mania.
Yeah. So you can meet Kang the Conqueror at Disney's California Adventure Park for a limited time, and he is moving through Avengers Campus, but not at a specific location. He's moving stealthily and engaging recruits and looking for information.
Yeah, so that would be fun probably to come across him. I'm sure he'll be a nice, evil, villain-like character.
Yeah,
and then this is going to be all the rage. If you are someone who wants collectibles and if you like popcorn buckets and all that stuff, I already know this one is high demand item.
So there is a new Uzi cauldron, which is inspired by a scene.
Ooze cauldron. Uzi is a machine gun.
It sounds better the way I say it.
It's an ooze cauldron.
Sounds better. I put more emphasis on it. But this is inspired by a pivotal scene in the new Ant-Man movie, and it is available at Pym Test Kitchen. Act fast because it is very likely to run out.
I don't even want this. I mean, I know people will want it. It's sort of, we haven't seen the movie, but I've seen a picture of this cauldron.
I want the ooze cauldron.
It's sort of weird looking, but I guess,
Yeah, but it's limited edition.
Yeah, you're not a big collector of this stuff.
It's because
we make fun of this stuff. We don't do it.
Yeah, but if I have more money and more space.
Yeah, well, we have neither for stuff. We had to scale back only important things.
They're forced. But if I had like a trophy room full of popcorn buckets.
No, you are not. We're not those people. We're not going to be those people.
I'm not those people.
We're not having
it's
a
nice
Disney
to imagine.
popcorn bucket room.
And then again, I would never ever use it.
Yeah, we are not doing that.
We
you
have
can
the
do
one
that when you get your own house. We have the one in a closet.
No,
we have 2.
I still wouldn't do it.
We have 2. We have the Cinderella carriage one, which I actually liked because speaking of carriages, and we actually got that one at Disneyland.
Oh.
And then the other one I have is the TIE Fighter, the Star Wars one. So there you go. It ties in with 2 things we talked about today.
No,
those are the only 2 popcorn buckets we own.
However, also, I will not be waiting 6 hours in line to receive a popcorn bucket.
Or this
Never
Pym
in a million.
thing. There's going to be a lineup for sure.
Yeah.
And we only got the Star Wars one because it was part of the Star Wars tour. It was a freebie.
Looking very cool, especially for Marvel fans. However, not this specific Marvel fan.
All right, that is the news this week. You are now all caught up. Thank you for listening. As always, follow along on social media at 1923 Main Street. We will see you again next week with more Disney travel news. And have a magical day.
Bye-bye.